And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the Connected for Real podcast. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm so excited because today we have Marisa Lonic. And we also have my baby visiting us right here. He did not want to go to sleep, so he is with us. And soon you'll get to see him too because he's playing here next to me on the bed. So it's going to be exciting. So if you don't know, I am Rebbetzin Bat-Chen Grossman. I am a marriage coach for women in business, and Marisa is a time management coach. So she's going to tell us all about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm Marisa Lonic. I'm a time management and productivity coach. I work mostly with moms. Let's see. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a mom of four. My kids are 8, 8, 4, and 2. I'm a former corporate executive. So up until recently, I was working full-time in the corporate space while managing my business, while being married, while having 4 young kids at home. And guess what? I made it work. And if you are an ambitious mama who has dreams and feels like you have no time, you can make it work too. And I want to help you do that. So I'm excited to be here, to be diving into these time management concepts, these strategies, these tips I want to share with you today. And I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Okay, so first thing is let's start with right before we went live, I asked you, how is your work affecting your marriage? And I want everyone to hear this because it is such a beautiful answer that you gave. So go ahead, tell us how your work affects your marriage.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned before, I think when you are self-aware, when you know yourself really well, you're able to be a better person in general, right? Because you're able to do things, you're able to manage your time, you're able to choose how you want to spend it in ways that make you feel fulfilled, that make you feel happy, that make you feel like you are using your gifts with the world, all of these things. And what does that do? That trickles into all the relationships into your life. So that makes you a better wife. That makes you a better mom, a better employee or entrepreneur, a better sister, friend, all the things. Because when you're happy, you're exuding that energy onto everyone else around you. And when you're not, on the contrary, when you're not using your time in the ways that you actually want to use it, when you're doing all the things for everyone else and nothing for you, when you're not fulfilling the things that you want to do, your dreams, your ambitions, you get resentful, you get grumpy, you get impatient. All of these things translate into how you are managing your marriage, your parenting, all the relationships around you. So I'm a big proponent of using your time wisely and effectively to make yourself happy so that you can be in a happy marriage and a happy relationship.
I love that. And it is so important what you said. My marriage has gotten better since I started working because being an entrepreneur and having to have all these things juggling in the air and trying to figure it all out, it can throw you off and make you completely focused and obsessive over your business, or it could lead you to more self-work and more transformation. Really, you have to be very aware and very conscious so that it takes you in the right direction.
Yeah. Can I comment on that really quick? Because I think something you're describing there is a feeling of overwhelm. It can be overwhelming to be an entrepreneur, a wife, a mom, all of those things, right? But guess what? It can be overwhelming to not be a mom, to not be in a relationship, to be running your business as a single woman. It can be overwhelming in any case because overwhelm is a choice. It's a choice you make. So no matter what your situation is, you choose. You choose. Do you want to feel overwhelmed or do you not? I'll give you a really simple, silly example of this. So let's say you're in the supermarket and you got your shopping cart and you're rolling down the aisles and you get to the bread aisle. Okay. Now, typically there are a lot of bread options, right? Whole wheat bread, white bread, English muffins, bagels, corn tortillas, flour tortillas. I mean, we could go on and on and on. There's a lot of bread options, right? You could sit there looking at all the options. You could feel overwhelmed by it. You could feel like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what type of bread to choose. Start reading all the labels, get into analysis paralysis, not make a decision, feel just totally enveloped in overwhelm. Or you could roll down the aisle with your cart. You could go right to the bread that you want. You could grab it, pop it in, and move on and not feel a tinge of it. So it's a choice. It's how you choose to feel.
Right. We don't usually think of it as a choice, because when you're feeling overwhelmed, you usually feel like it's out of your control.
Yes.
And you feel very much like a victim to overwhelm.
Yes.
So to hear you saying it's a choice is so powerful, because once it's a choice, then you also get to choose otherwise.
Absolutely.
Which is very freeing in a awkward way, but I really love that. And I call it decision fatigue, where you have to make too many decisions. You get tired of just deciding.
Yeah.
It's so powerful to know what you want.
Yeah.
And
It comes
so
down to
scary.
that clarity. It comes down to that clarity. So whether that's managing your time, making big life choices, the day-to-day, daily grind, once you have that clarity and you get in the habit of having clarity, everything becomes easier.
Yeah. Yeah. What is one thing that you do to get clarity every day?
Yes. So I think it is really, really important every single day to set 3 small intentional goals. These are things you will absolutely get done. You will hold yourself accountable for. They don't have to be at specific times. You can do them whenever the pockets of time you can fit them in. You can be very flexible with them, but you're also going to be very accountable with them. So again, very small. They don't have to be huge, tremendous things. You're not going to change the world in one day, but when you're doing 3 small things day in and day out, every single day, you'll be surprised when you look back on your week or your month, how much you actually were able to get closer to maybe a major goal or a major life shift that you want to make.
Yeah. Now, here's a question. Do you pick 3 of the same thing to start showing yourself that you can be consistent? Or do you pick 3 separate, like different things every day that you just feel like, today I really want to get the laundry done. I want to, eat a good breakfast, and I want to, I don't know, have lunch ready for the kids. Is it like that? Or is it every day I want to, pray every morning. I want to make myself whatever,
Yeah.
is it consistent or is it random?
Yeah.
Not
Well, here's my answer. I think you could go either way with it. I think if you're trying to form a habit, I'd be consistent with it for 21 days, because that's how long the experts say it takes to form a habit. So if it is that you want to form the habit of every morning, I'm going to wake up and dedicate 5 minutes to prayer, then that's what you're going to do. Right. And then once that starts to feel very like a non-effort, right, in itself, like you don't even have to think about it. You don't care about checking it off your list because you're doing it anyway. Well, then replace that with something else. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. I really like that. I'm very go with the flow. And until I got married to what? You okay? Yes. Until I got married, my husband's very much, routine, consistency, acts of service. Like, he's just very, it's very nice, but it's very not me. I always laugh that God does that just so we can find ourselves somewhere in the middle. Here, and come. I think that you want to say hello to everyone. And hi, Louise, by the way. She's watching live, and I'm so excited that she's here. Okay, here's Eliezer. He's right here, and he's very excited to be live. He didn't want to go to sleep tonight. He's learning. He's learning that this is where the life is. This is where the cool people are hanging. So my husband's very routine-y, and I'm very not. And getting married to that routine lifestyle was really surprising, because I thought, oh, I'm just a go with the flow and I'm not a routine person, so it's just not for me. But it was amazing to see how much easier it is when you have a routine.
Yes.
It was a little shocking. Then you don't have to think about it. I know I'm showering every single night, so I don't have to make decisions about, wait, is my hair oily or not? Wait, do I need to shower tonight, or do I need to shower in the morning, or should I shower tomorrow, or should I shower now? I'm too tired. I am tired. It's like, it doesn't even cross my mind anymore. For the last 15 years, I've just been showering every single night. And the funny thing is that it wasn't that hard to fall into step because it was so expected of me. And like you said, it takes 21 days to get it, to get used to something new like that. But I was so excited as a new wife that I just wanted to keep doing it. And so when it started getting not as fun, it was already part of my day. So I just do it anyway,
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I totally love that. Um, I remember feeling resentful, like, why are you making me do this? It's not my thing. And then realizing that it's actually to my advantage. And so I turned it consciously into, something loving and something supportive. Like, I'm grateful to my husband that he put me on certain routines and certain habits just because it's really good for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like,
It's exactly what you said. When you're in a routine or you have certain habits, right? They become things you don't even need to think about. They become things that require no effort, no decision making. So you have more space in your very heavy mental load that you're already carrying for other things, for things that bring you more joy, that things that are more fun, right? So if it's in your routine already, it's not something that you need to necessarily like put that effort into every day.
I love that. I love it so much. Awesome. Okay, everybody who's live gets to ask a question or send in a comment. And while you do that, we are going to continue. Tell us a little bit about how you work with people, what it is that you do with them, how you help moms have it all or have whatever they want to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a native New Yorker, so I'm kind of like a very direct approach. And also, I feel like as busy moms, we got no time to waste, right? So my programs, my style, my writing style, all of it, like there's no fluff in there. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm max efficiency here. I want you to get the most bang for your buck in the amount of time in your investment. So I have a number of different ways that you can work with me, or you can reap the benefits of this. If you're a reader, I've written 2 books. One is called Time Management, How to Get the Time You Need to Do the Things You Want. The other is a journal planner called Word to Your Mother, A Mama's Guide to Journal Today and Slay Tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. What else? I do one-on-one coaching programs, and I've got something really, really cool that I want to tell you about. That's kind of a conjunction, like a bundle package when it comes to that. So it's called a time management deep dive. And what this is for 3 days, you take my proprietary self-assessment called the 3-day test, where you document how you're managing, how you're using your time, what you're multitasking, what you're not. You get really, really honest for those 3 days. You get it all down on Excel or on paper. And then after that, you and I meet for an hour and we strategize. We look at this and we strategize how to specifically get you 1, 2, maybe even 3 hours back into your day so that you have time for the things you love, so that you're able to really not feel so overwhelmed, not feel so stressed, so frazzled all the time. And you have this free space to use how you want to. And then if you're somebody who likes doing kind of your own pace, I also have courses that you can tap into.
Cool. I love that, that you sort of give homework to prepare for the meeting.
Yeah.
Because when you come to the meeting, you're just so much more ready to sit down and deal with this,
Yeah. There's nothing like seeing it in black and white on paper, because I think we all have this vision of that we don't have time, that we're so busy. And the excuses are valid. Listen, we all have our circumstances. We all have the juggle of what we're doing. So I don't want to shame that in any way. I don't want to make anyone feel like that's a lie or that's bad. But when you see actually how you're using your time on paper or on this, electronic document, and you take a look at that with someone on the outside who's objective, it's so much easier to see what can be shifted, what can be moved around, what can be delegated that you weren't thinking of in that way, right? And it's really amazing the results you can get from even just that one deep dive session. I call it the time management deep dive.
I love it. What's interesting? You just reminded me of baby sleep training.
Yeah.
And I think it's so parallel, because most people will try to put their baby on a schedule. And what I found works really, really well, and is one of my biggest advice for other moms, is first track the baby's routine. Like, he has a schedule, he has his own rhythm. And before you start telling him what to do, first see what he's already doing. And sometimes it's just about noticing and tweaking that will give you way more, better sleep results, or whatever you want to call it, than if you were to put him on a whole new schedule and start to like train him to be something he's not.
Sure.
So I feel like it's the same way with us. Sometimes if you're just aware of your rhythm, you can be a lot more productive by bringing awareness to it than it would be if you forced yourself into a different box completely.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not a one size fits all. It's not like go buy this planner, go do these 3 things, and your life's going to change forever. This is, this needs to be customized to your situation and your life.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, I resonate with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
I like that you said all excuses are valid, but you don't have to buy them. You don't have to let them run your life. And I mean, I just want to bring this up because this is some mindset work I've been working on, and some behind the scenes that my listeners love behind the scenes. So I'm going to share them with you. I did a lot of work yesterday and today on letting go of the resentment that my kids are distracting me or getting in my way or being whatever, making noise in the background. The big line was like, what was that? I said it before. I said to you about kids. Oh, my kids are in the way. No, my kids are the way. And then I did a lot of releasing and a lot of work and a lot of journaling. And I'm really grateful that it happened today, that my baby is, not sleeping and just making noise in the background. He's in a good mood, so it's all good. He's happy, but he is making, the cooing sounds and the not, people listening on podcasts are like, oh, that baby in the background is so, it's hard to hear or something. And I'm thinking, okay, but this is, thank God this is my life. And so I can either be like, okay, I have 7 kids. I can't do this business thing. I'm just going to wait till they all grow up, and then I'll lean into my purpose, right? I could, and it's totally valid. There's millions of women who do that, and it's fine. Especially for my mother's generation, it's like a real theme, I'm waiting for my kids to grow up so I could start living. But I choose not to for myself. I choose to actually lean in and be totally honest and real and say it like it is. I have a baby in the background, and he's on screen, and he's delicious and cute and yummy. And just in a year or two, we'll be looking at these going, oh my gosh, he was so cute. Look at that. He grew up so much. And it's just documenting my life, and I'm just doing my thing. And I could be all resentful and frustrated, but I've made a real decision and done a lot of work to just be like, no, let it go, release. And I think that gives permission to other people to just be themselves and be imperfect, perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. I love that you said that. I think, we need to remember that the perfect time to start is never going to come. So you could say, I'll wait till the kids are in school. I'll wait till the pandemic's over. I'll wait, till, gosh, winter's here or winter's over, whatever it is. It's never going to be perfect, ever, ever. You'll be waiting forever. So just start. Just make a change.
I just read something so beautiful. There was a man who asked, you know what the difference between a dream and a goal is? Said, the goal has a deadline.
Yes.
You could say, oh, I dream of helping other women. I dream of, bringing God's presence into the home and all these things these are my whys, right? This is what my things are. And it's like, okay, when are you doing it? When is it getting done? If it's not on the calendar, I don't know.
It's not scheduled. It's not real.
If you didn't post it, it didn't happen.
Right.
So yeah, it's like we did today, we scheduled the podcast, we did it, and it is what it is. It's amazing. It's so much fun, So yes, Louise says she's never been bothered by beautiful baby noises, whether it's screaming or cooing. Mind you, same thing happened to me when I was flying with babies, and my stress and anxiety would escalate as a result. Yes. We feel so much guilt, which is the other thing we wanted to talk about, is all that mommy guilt.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's just say, let's clear the air. We always feel bad about situations like this, right? Or when our kid has a meltdown in Target or whatever the situation is, nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you with shame. People feel bad for you guys. People feel like, oh, I wish I could help that person, or I've been there. It's so relatable. So we have to stop trying to think that these situations are getting us evil eyes or anything. They're not, right? They're not at all. Look, you got a beautiful comment from a listener who is loving our surprise guest here today. And I think that's great. So yeah, but let's talk a little bit about guilt, because mom guilt is real. Mom guilt is legit. Mom guilt, she arrives as this new person in your life when you find out you're expecting a baby. And she basically never leaves, right? She's like a terrible neighbor that you can't move away from. So we have to learn how to deal with her. And when it comes to time management, you may not think that this is necessarily a concept, but I think, in having worked with tons and tons of moms and being a mom myself in those shoes, it's something that you need to manage just as much as your time, because you could do all the work. You could have all the systems in place, be the most organized person, just really have it down to a science. And if you haven't worked on your mom guilt factor, if you haven't learned how to tame that and manage that, it's just all for nothing. I mean, there's no point in doing it at all. So yeah, guilt is real. Guilt needs to be managed. We need to put ourselves in a place where we're not feeling selfish for doing things for ourselves, for managing our time in ways that make us feel good. And to realize, this was a big game changer for me that I'll share, to realize that the way we are embodying this, the way we are managing our time, and let's say putting our business as a priority, making our business a priority, making our self-care as a priority, whatever it is, our marriage a priority, right? All of these things, we're parenting this to our kids. We're embodying this. We're setting the example for them when they get older, that they're going to follow in those footsteps. If they see mommy just always doing everything for everyone and not doing anything for herself, guess what? They're going to grow up doing the same thing. Do you want that for your daughter or for your son? I don't. I want my kids living their best life, doing all the things that make them happy. So I have to do that to show them that it's okay.
Right. And it's so amazing that you said that. The one thing I want to say is that you don't have to live with her in that size and in that vicinity forever,
You can move.
Something I did with my client the other day was she closed her eyes. We did a lot of relaxing breathing, and then we started changing her. And so suddenly she became very small, and we took away the color and she put her in a box so that she doesn't have to hear her so loud, and, in a glass box, and she put her in a back pocket and not on her shoulder right there, So she can be there, but she doesn't have to be as loud. She doesn't have to
Yes.
be as prominent. She doesn't even have to be as colorful or as, uh, you know, as important as we have her now.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that it's so helpful to just know that you have the control over that. And I love that Kathy Heller says, fear can come along, but fear can't drive. You could be in the back seat, you don't get to make decisions. I think that about guilt too. It's okay. Guilt is here to keep me accountable because it knows my top priority is my marriage and my parenting. So if I'm starting to be too much to one side, it's going to show me. It's going to wake me up. It's going to, wave its hands and scream. But I don't have to let it stop me from doing what I want to do at the right times, and sort of holding myself. I can trust myself that I can keep my own promises and I can do my things. I don't need you to be right there in front of my face every single second, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So I like that. We can tweak each other's words. It's fun. Oh, this was so fun. Okay, so where can people find you? And then I want to also ask you about the journal thing, the second book you have.
Yeah, you got it. So you can find me on my website, mamaworkit.com. It's MAMA workit.com. I am on Facebook and Instagram at the handle Let Mama Work It. And I would love to have you become a subscriber. I send a free weekly newsletter. Right now, if you subscribe, you have access to a free training. It's the 3 biggest mistakes moms make when it comes to time management. So you can get access to that. Absolutely. And if you really resonated with what we chatted about today and you want to chat with me in a totally free breakthrough call, I would love to talk with you. It's 45 minutes. It's, again, completely free. I just get to know you, get to know what you're managing, what you're dealing with, and we strategize ways to help you break free of that. So you can sign up for that right on my website. There's a link to do that there.
That's awesome. That sounds amazing. Okay, about your book, the second one was a journal or
A journal planner. Yeah, let me grab one and I'll show it to you really fast.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Okay, so this is my author copy, so it doesn't have that seal when you get it, but it's called Word to Your Mother, A Mama's Guide to Journal Today and Slay Tomorrow. And what it is for 15 minutes every night, no more than that, because I know we're busy. You do this daily sort of ritual, this daily exercise. You reflect on your day. How did you feel when you woke up? How do you feel right now? Right? I think a lot of moms go to sleep feeling really like defeated, exhausted sometimes. I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel accomplished and good and proud of myself for the day. Right? So we reflect on our day a little bit. We do a little bit of prompted journaling, and then we talk about how we're going to slay the day. We set intentions for the next day. We set our 3 small goals. We prioritize self-care for the mind, the body, and the soul, because that often gets put to the bottom of the to-do list and never gets done. But I am a firm believer that when it's written down, especially in black ink, it is much more easy to accomplish, and it feels more real. It feels like that goal versus wish or dream. So yeah, it is like a really quick daily ritual that you do. It helps you sleep better because a lot of that stuff that's running around your brain that's making you feel like all cluttered in there, you get it down on paper and you know exactly what you're going to get done the next day. You can hold yourself accountable and you can sleep more easily.
So is it an actual planner that you fill in, or is it a planner that teaches you how to do it?
No, I mean, there are prompts of, what I'm going to get done tomorrow, how, what intention I'm going to set, how I'm
So,
going to
like,
practice.
there's lines to fill
Yes.
in.
Yes. It's like
Okay,
a
cool.
workbook. Exactly. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, cool. I just wanted to hear more about that.
You got
Sounds
it.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, and it's fun because I get to talk about what I'm up to, and there is a Marriage Breakthrough Retreat, which is a 7-day free retreat for women in business. And it's all about marriage. It's all about breaking through to the next level. It's really geared for women who are happy in their marriage and feel really high priority. My marriage is a high priority and my business is a high priority because I get to shine and I get to, lean into my purpose. And how do we make those two really come together in such a beautiful way? And I'll give you a spoiler. It's by connecting to God, really, like making both of them go in the same direction as opposed to in two different directions. But that's not what the Marriage Breakthrough Retreat is about. It's just the answer to my question. It starts November 8th and it's epic. This is my third time doing it. I did 2 when I was pregnant and it was so amazing. People had like the best, I wouldn't say results, but I call it the marriage breakthrough because it is exactly that. There's like a breakthrough and then you feel it and you're in shock. It's like, I didn't even think this was possible. So I highly recommend that you go to ConnectedForReal.com/retreat and sign up now. That sounded like a really great, what's it called?
Commercial.
It sounded like a commercial. Go sign up now for your free 7-day retreat. No, but it's really fun. I talk about this on the retreat, but the reason why I do it is 7 days and I give everything full abundance is that I really hated when people did like a taste of something. Like, oh, let me show you how to, never mind, you have to work with me. And it's like, why do I have to get this far and not get to the next level? Like, it's like you feel like you're banging into a glass wall because you can see it, but you can't get to it. And so when I finally was okay with doing things my way, which, takes time when you're giving yourself permission, I decided I'm doing it all the way. I'm not making this like a webinar or something short. I'm going all the way. I'm giving my full self and it feels so good. And when you do something like that, then everybody else feels like they are able to receive it like that.
Everybody benefits. Yeah.
So it's been pretty wild and I'm very excited because it's my first time after the baby. So it's exciting for me.
That is exciting.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Okay, cool. So we are done for today. There is no more comments. And if you do have a comment, make sure to tag me or Marisa on Instagram. What's your handle again?
Let Mama Work It.
Yes, Let Mama Work It. And I'm ConnectedForReal. So you guys can definitely shoot us questions, get in touch, and we will get back to you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, you can be connected for real.